Assalamualaikum. Thanks for joining me this Thursday on 7Edition. I'm Ras Adivarazi and these are tonight's top stories. MRB suffered 800 million ringgit in losses in land deal under previous government. Fuel price mechanism to be revealed tomorrow. And thousands flee as tropical storm Pabuk makes landfall. Hello, it's good to see you again. We begin with this story. The previous government had shortchanged and forced the Malaysian rubber board MRB to sell 2,800 acres of its land in Sungai Buloh at below market price of 1.5 billion ringgit in 2010. Primary Industries Minister Teresa Cox said the land was sold to Asset Tanah Nasional Berhad ATNB in a direct sale, which subsequently sold it to Kuasa Land for 2.28 billion ringgit.
The sale of land, somebody make a big chunk of profit for about 800 million. That is on the land sale. Then after that is 5 facilities. The 5 facilities. The project implementation of these 5 facilities in Sungai Buloh land. Then resulted 70 million losses to MRB. So meaning that if there is no change of government. No change of the board members. These MRB, the precious assets that the MRB has accumulated over the years, it will be all gone to somebody else.
It probably starts with the cabinet, what I'm told, and then the minister will then instruct the chairman, and everything goes as the way it is instructed.
2010.
2010. Who was the minister? Was it Bernard Tompo?
Bansri Bernard Tompo.
Right. And the Prime Minister, you know who?
Okay.
Kok also said that MRB is lawfully entitled to the difference of 800 million ringgit, but the sum is still unaccounted for to date. She noted the current MRB board had, in November 2018, reported this dubious transaction to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, and the National Audit Department for a thorough audit and further investigation. The minister in charge of MRB back in 2010 was Tan Sri Bernard Tompo, who held the plantation industries and commodities portfolio from 2009 to 2013. A quick search on the Finance Ministry's website revealed ATNB is a majority-owned Minister of Finance Inc. vehicle that accords the Finance Minister veto powers in the company board members' decision-making.
Of all its assets and contracts.
The new fuel price mechanism will be revealed by the government tomorrow. Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Asution Ismail revealed this today, saying the decision on the matter was made by the Cabinet in a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad yesterday. He also assured consumers the interests of all stakeholders were taken into consideration before the matter was decided.
The decision by the Cabinet is at best, we take the interest of all, the dealers, the people at large, and also the government and all companies, So, in less than 24 hours, there will be the official announcement from the government. Okay?
He also refused to respond to allegations that the government was bowing to pressure from petrol dealers by refusing to revert to the float system. Previously, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng stated that the January 1st target to reintroduce the weekly float system was delayed to the end of the week. The postponement was to take into account concerns raised by the Petroleum Dealers Association of Malaysia, PDAM. Lim had also said the government was committed to reducing fuel prices at a time while global crude prices have fallen. Currently, the price of crude oil is around $52 or about 215 ringgit per barrel. The Kelantan government has asked the Attorney General's Chambers, AGC, to act immediately to stop the circulation of fake news on the institution of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Deputy Menteri Besar, Datuk Muhammad Amar Nik Abdullah, said such immoral act did not only involve just the Sultan of Kelantan in his personal capacity, but also the institution of the rulers. According to Datuk Muhammad Amar, the Kelantan state government strongly denied the speculation that has been spreading on social media over the last few days that Sultan Muhammad V will abdicate the Yang di-Pertuan Agong throne in the near future. He did not discount the possibility that the fake news was out to tarnish the image of the Kelantan Royal Institution and the state government. He also urged the Attorney General to take action to ensure that incorrect information does not spread among the people.
Jadi peguam negara mesti concern dengan benda ni. Jadi kadang-kadang kita pun tertanya apa yang dibuat oleh peguam negara. Sehingga boleh tersebar macam-macam tuduhan, maklumat, berita-berita angin di dalam media-media sosial ni. Jadi sepatutnya peguam negara kena concern dengan benda, beri perhatian. Apa yang boleh diambil tindakan. Dia perlu disiasat-siasatlah.
At a press conference today following the New Year message by the Menteri Besar Datuk Ahmad Yaakob in Kota Baru, Datuk Muhammad Amar also said so far nothing has been done to stop the circulation of the fake news. The Malaysian Embassy in Sudan has advised all citizens in the country to avoid political gatherings and to stay away from public spaces where their safety could be jeopardized. Its consular officer said if possible, Malaysians in the country should limit their movements until the situation returns to normal. The Embassy of Malaysia in Khartoum, when contacted by Bernama on the recent violent protests in the African nation, said that all Malaysians are strongly advised to abide by Sudanese rules and regulations and to register with the embassy. On the current situation in Sudan, the embassy stated that it is now relatively stable following several demonstrations in Khartoum as well as in other townships, which began on December 19th. At present, the Sudanese security forces have continued to maintain order and control in the capital and elsewhere. There are approximately 150 Malaysians residing in Sudan, and a majority of them are students studying Arabic, Islamic studies and Sharia law at the International African University. The rest are Petronas staff, embassy personnel and a handful of businessmen and their families. The last few weeks have seen people taking to the streets to protest against the country's dire economic situation, with supplies of bread and other staples becoming scarce. Police confirmed that no bomb was found in a Pro 2 Asia car at a petrol station in Pasir Mas, as stated in a report last night. Authorities said they didn't find any explosive device in the vehicle after conducting 3 hours of search.
Police received a call from a petrol station worker about a bomb at the petrol station at 9:50 p.m. last night. In the incident, a 29-year-old motorist who came in to top up his car fuel had confided in the worker about a clicking sound like the timer of a bomb under his car seat, and the latter immediately called the police.
Yang dia dengar bunyi detikan seperti bom jangka. Kemudian pihak petugas stesen minyak telah hubungi bilik gerakan polis Pasir Mas, dan daripada situ pihak kita telah membuat korden kawasan tu, tutup stesen minyak dan kita tutup jalan ini, dan seterusnya kita memanggil unit pemusnah bom.
A team of firemen from the Pasir Mas Fire and Rescue Department was also placed near the petrol station to assist police operations. The petrol station was then confirmed safe and has been reopened. Following the matter, police have detained the motorist to have his statement recorded and to facilitate further investigations into the case. The motorist's car was also taken to the Pasir Mas Police Headquarters as part of the probe.
In Perak, 2 friends were charged at the Batu Gajah Magistrates Court with the murder of a Bangladesh national in Kampung Gajah 2 weeks ago. They were also accused of disposing the body of their co-worker to conceal his death. No pleas were recorded from Muhammad Amir Amzar Muhammad Aspar and Muhammad Nur Izwan Matzamin, aged 22 and 19 respectively, when the charges were read out before Magistrate Muhammad Fitri Sadaruddin. The 2 accused and the 32-year-old victim, Muhammad Ovaidul, worked at a cattle farm belonging to Muhammad Amir Amzar's father. They allegedly committed the murder on December 15th last year at Sungai Kinta near Kampung Gajah. The duo faced the death penalty if found guilty under Section 302 of the Penal Code. Both the accused also face a second charge of disposing the victim's body to conceal his death. The court also ordered Muhammad Amir Amzar to undergo psychiatric evaluation at the Hulu Kinta Hospital. The magistrate set January 30th for remention. Two marine officers pleaded not guilty in the Johor Bahru Sessions Court to 4 charges of soliciting and receiving bribes totaling 120,000 ringgit 4 years ago. Sanizam Bacho and Nur Yazid Khairi Muhammad Nur claimed trial after the charges were read out to them before Judge Kamaruddin Kamsun. 45-year-old Sanizam, who was attached to the Southern Region Marine Department, then was accused of soliciting a 70,000 ringgit bribe from one Lim Tiam Lei in Iskandar Puteri on November 25, 2015. This was as an inducement to issue letters of approval for the operation of 3 vessels. If convicted, he faces a maximum jail term of 20 years and a fine of not less than 5 times the amount of the bribe, or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher. Sanizam, who now works in Penang, is also accused of having received a 50,000 ringgit bribe from Lim on November 27, 2015. Meanwhile, Nur Yazid Khairi, aged 48, was charged with abetting Sanizam in soliciting and accepting the bribes from Lim. The court allowed both of them bail of 20,000 ringgit each and set February 10th for mention of the case.
Meanwhile, the prosecution team in the criminal breach of trust CBT case of former Malaysian External Intelligence Organisation chief Datuk Hassan Abdul Hamid has been given a month to submit all documents for the trial. Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court Judge Rosina Ayub made the order after DPP Muhammad Iskandar Ahmad told the court that they are in the midst of preparing several other documents to be submitted to the defence team. On November 29th, Iskandar said the prosecution had submitted a total of 46 documents relating to the trial. The court then fixed February 21st for mention. On October 25th, 61-year-old Datuk Hassanah claimed trial for allegedly committing CBT, which involved public funds amounting to 50.4 million ringgit. She was charged under Section 409 of the Penal Code, which carries a sentence of up to 20 years imprisonment, a whipping and a fine upon conviction.
Kuala Lumpur police have confirmed that a fight which broke out at a flat in Salat South, Cheras yesterday was not a huge brawl as alleged in social media postings that went viral since last night. The confusion arose due to a large number of police personnel who turned up at the scene when responding to the disturbance. District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Mohsin Muhammad Zon, who clarified the matter, also denied that the fracas was related to a racial riot. Instead, it was only an altercation involving 2 individuals, and the incident was brought under control by policemen upon arrival at the location. The public were also urged not to easily believe such claims that are being spread on social media. So far, 3 people have been arrested, namely the 2 brawlers and a man who came to the Salat South police station last night to make a report over the incident. They have been remanded beginning today to facilitate police investigations. It was understood that one of the suspects had criminal records for rioting and drug-related offences. The case is being probed under the Penal Code for rioting with the use of weapons. A drug addict has been stealing luxury bicycles in Penang and selling them at dirt cheap prices to satisfy his addiction. His bike stealing days, however, were over after he was arrested by police last month during a raid at a house in Butterworth.
MO dia kalau MO yang kita dapat hasil siasatan, dia akan meronda lah, dia meronda dengan motosikal dia. Dia akan tengok basikal-basikal ni yang mahal. Dia pun pandai, dia tak ambil basikal kanak-kanak ni. Dia tengok basikal yang mahal tu. Basikal-basikal ni tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ringan. Tuan-tuan boleh angkat ni. 1 tangan pun cukup boleh angkat. Ringan. Dan basikal ni pun saya tengok apa yang kita dapati bahawa basikal-basikal ni pun tak berkunci, tak dikuncikan. Mana dia di sini juga mangsa-mangsa juga tidak mengambil langkah-langkah untuk keselamatan dia lah. Sebab tu senang curi. Dan orang pun tak sangka basikal ni orang nak curi.
Police have recovered 9 bicycles believed to have been stolen from the suspect's house. Investigations found that some of the stolen bicycles were luxury ones priced around 20,000 ringgit each, and they were being sold as cheap as 200 ringgit apiece. Police are also looking for 2 other individuals believed to be the suspect's accomplices in the thefts. In other news, the government is studying the need to create a comprehensive development plan for the Orang Asli in an effort to bring progress to the Pribumi community. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail revealed this as the new federal government is very concerned and wishes to engage the Orang Asli in the flow of development at the state or federal level.
Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah said the matter was in line with the International Labour Organization ILO Convention 107 on Indigenous and Tribal Peoples, which encouraged governments to involve Indigenous people in development projects apart from providing guidance on the protection of tribal people.
Hal-hal tanam adalah di bawah kerajaan negeri untuk mewartakan tanah rizab orang asli dan ini akan diambil kira. Saya akan membawa perkara ini kepada pengetahuan kementerian berkaitan yang melibatkan Kementerian Pembangunan Luar Bandar dan Jabatan Perdana Menteri, Perpaduan dan Integrasi Nasional untuk perbincangan lanjut.
She was speaking at a session between the Deputy Prime Minister and the Cameron Highlands Orang Asli community at Sungai Ruil Orang Asli village today. She stated that it is important for all parties to understand the Pribumi community's way of life, while at the same time find the common areas to strengthen further cooperation as well as brotherhood to help the Orang Asli more effectively. Apart from that, the Deputy Prime Minister also urged the Pahang State Government to gazette Orang Asli reserve land as an effort to ensure they do not lose their settlement and source of income to development.
Coming up, Malaysian smokers are miming smoking ban and netizens just can't handle it. Details next. I'm Rasa Dibarazi and you're still with us on 7Edition. Tens of thousands of tourists have fled the Thai resort islands of Koh Phangan and Koh Tao in a mass exodus ahead of Tropical Storm Pabuk, which is set to bring heavy rains, wind and 7-meter waves. Pabuk is Thailand's first tropical storm in the area outside of the monsoon season for around 30 years.
The islands, hugely popular with holidaymakers, especially during the peak Christmas and New Year season, have emptied out since Wednesday as tourists packed onto ferries bound for the southern Thai mainland with swimming banned and boats set to suspend services. No official evacuation order has been given, but tourists are leaving in droves. Fishermen have started towing their boats as people flock to markets on Thursday morning, buying meat, vegetables and other necessities after being informed of the storm about to hit the island. Local authorities said they were preparing shelters for any tourists who decided to wait out the storm. Meanwhile, Bangkok Airways, which owns and operates Samui International Airport, has cancelled all flights to and from Samui tomorrow for safety reasons. Pabuk is moving on a northwesterly track and is expected to leave the Andaman coast on Sunday.
Now, back home, Terengganu is on high alert against Tropical Storm Pabuk, despite it not posing any danger to the state. State Secretary Dato' Abdul Rahman Yahya said they were monitoring closely Pabuk's movement of the peninsula's eastern coast in the South China Sea. Speaking to reporters, he said the state's emergency disaster response teams are on standby to render assistance to victims. Over the past few days, strong winds and rough seas are expected over waters off Kelantan, Terengganu and Pahang. A video clip of an offshore rig near Terengganu, which had gone viral on social media, showed huge waves battering the structure. Authorities have also warned the public to avoid activities in waterways, rivers, monsoon drains, lakes, ponds and the sea for the time being. Nearly all the resorts in the state are closed for the annual monsoon season, which will last until next month. Boat and ferry operators are also adhering to the advice from the Marine Department and other authorities to avoid going to sea.